Hi guys. So today we are discussing some of the Power BI interview questions which were asked in Tech Mahindra. So one of my LinkedIn connections shared me this and I felt these questions are very useful, so I am making a video on it. Okay. So how many apps can we create from Power BI service? This is one question. And actually I also had some confusion on this. So I have looked in Microsoft documentation as well for this and collected some data. So thing is that you can create one app per workspace. Okay, and if you want to create multiple apps, so you have to create multiple workspaces, and then from each workspace you can create one app. Okay, this thing I was aware, but other things like if there are any limitations on dashboards and all, this also I have checked. And from documentation I could see that we can add up to 25 audience groups for each app. You can add like groups, right? How many groups people can view your app? So up to 25 audience groups you can add. Also, apps can have maximum of 200 dashboards. This is some things you can tell. Okay, so next one is what methodology you have used in your project. So nowadays these kind of questions are asked in behavioral round mostly. So why they are asking it is so that they want to know if you have proper understanding about your project or not. So whatever methodology you have used, that you can answer. So here I have told that I have used agile methodology. So in our team, in our project, we have used agile methodology. That's what I told. So if you have used waterfall or any other methodology, you can tell according to that. Just refer some points related to that methodology and answer properly. So for agile, if you are using agile in your project, then you can answer that we have used agile. And so some things what we do in this is there will be sprint. So what is sprint is like, it is like short cycles. So like 15 days, 2 week sprints, 3 week sprints, like that we usually have. So within that time we have to complete and we have to keep updating the clients. Also, mostly in agile methodology, what we had is we have stand-up calls on daily basis. So there also we have to update what we have done. And whenever there are some feedback from customers, we have to collaborate and we have to update the things based on the feedback. Immediately we have to work and update. So there will be continuous improvement, and it's not like you will develop for 1 month, 2 months, and then you will meet clients, then they will give feedback. That's not how it happens in agile. So you meet with clients very frequently, and whatever they give feedback, according to that you have to keep updating and improve. You have to keep improving. So that's how agile works. I'm just giving you an overview. So whatever your methodology is, you can tell according to that. So next question is, what is deployment pipeline? So these kind of questions, that's the reason I'm making videos. So these questions were a little different than normal technical questions which you get. So what is deployment pipeline? So you have to tell that it is a feature through which the reports, dashboards and all move across different environments. So I think you will have idea about it, but you may not know this is deployment pipeline, but mostly everybody will be aware of development, testing and production environments. These are the three environments. So if you're working as developer, you'll be obviously working in development environment, and afterwards we test it in the testing environment. And once you have tested and all the things are fine, so after all approvals, it will be moving to production. That's where we release it to users for their use. Okay, so you have to just tell this thing. It is a feature that will help to manage the movement of reports, dashboards and data sets and all across different environments. Okay, next question is, how does incremental refresh work? So before knowing how it works, you have to know what incremental refresh is. So incremental refresh means, so whenever you have huge amount of data, so what happens is if there are millions and millions of data, so you cannot apply refresh on the whole data. There is no reason to do that. Okay, so if you keep on updating like that, when the data keeps on increasing, then for sure your schedule refresh will fail. So to avoid that, what we have this new feature, incremental refresh, and using that, what happens is only the new data or the new changed data, only that will update, not the entire data set. There is no need to update entire data set, because whatever data is there, that will be correct. Whatever new data is coming, or if there is any update in the recent past data, only those things need to be updated. From past 5 years data, 6 years data, you need not keep refreshing it all every day. That will only consume more space and also unnecessary. Refresh time will be long, and there are more chances that refresh will fail. That's why you have to use incremental refresh. So how you have to set up incremental refresh? So the person who shared me this question also asked me to make a, if possible, he asked me to show. So I am going to show you as well how you are going to implement incremental refresh. So the thing is that first of all, you have to go to Power Query Editor. Okay. Once you go to Power Query Editor, so for incremental refresh, first of all, you have to define the parameters. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create two parameters. I have created new parameter, and here make sure that you are using range start, and also data type should be date or time. Okay, and here value I'm giving as 1/1/2022. So remember, name you have to give this only, and also the type also you have to check, because that is how the system will recognize the incremental refresh. So it will look for two parameters, range start and range end. That's how system will identify incremental refresh. So you have to give the correct name properly. Okay, and now I'm clicking OK. So you'll get one parameter. So one more parameter you want, that is range end. Okay, so just give range end. You have to go to range end, and here you have to just give date or time, and then I'm giving current value as 1/1/2025. Okay, so I have created two parameters. Now the thing is that you have to so this is the column which I want to what do we say, like so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the data type is date here. So I want to change the data type to date and time, because we are using date and time parameter. So I'm just changing that. And also I want to apply the incremental refresh on this particular column. So what we have to do is we have to go to this, and then I'm selecting date or time filter. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is, so now whatever parameter you created, using that you have to filter this particular column. Okay. So here I'm selecting at or at is after or equal to, because it should be after or equal to the date. What date? So you are going to select the parameter. Automatically it's selected range start. Okay. Next again, before or equal to. Where is the before or equal to? Okay. So that you have to select, and then range again parameter, and here you can select range end. Okay. So now what I did is I have selected the dates only between the range start and range end. So whatever parameter you gave here, that I'm selecting here. Okay. Then I clicked OK. So now what happened is, according to that, now the data is filtered. Okay. Now the table is filtered. Now I'm just going and closing and applying it. Okay. So now we have to just wait for the thing to get updated here. Just wait for a few seconds. So you can see the data is getting loaded. Okay. Um, so now you can see data is loaded. Now what I have to do is I have to implement the incremental refresh. So this is the table where I'm implementing it. So just right click on it and go to incremental refresh. So here what you can do is, here already table is selected. So I'm here you have to just specify. So I want to archive the data, whatever is uh, previous years. So like if the data is before refresh date. So suppose refresh date is today's date, Jan to 2025. So 5 years back data. So data before 2020, whatever data is there, that I don't want. I just want to archive the data. And incremental refresh data starting, I want to refresh the data before 30 months. Okay. So what happens is, up from 1/9/2020 to 28 to 2025. This is the data. Data will be incrementally refreshed from these dates. Okay, that's how. Just I'm just setting the whatever you want to set, like that you can set. So here I have set the data, whatever you want to archive, that you have to set. And similarly, how you want to implement incremental refresh, based on that, according to that you can set here. Okay, just set the dates, whatever you want, according to that you have to set. And just make sure to select this one, detect data changes. Okay, and here you have to select the correct column based on which you want to apply. So here you can see what I have checked, right, that thing is showing here. So 5 years before refresh date, then it will be archived, and incremental refresh will be applied 30 months before refresh date to refresh date. So that's the thing. So whenever you, according to my whatever I have set parameters, according to that, what will happen now is 30 months data before refresh date, that all that data will be refreshed. Okay. So this is how you have to implement incremental refresh. I'll just click on apply. Okay, that's it. So now when you publish this thing to workspace, then when you schedule the refresh, only this particular data, according to the parameters whatever you have set up, only that much data will get refreshed. So I tried my best to explain how it is done. So this is how you have to implement the incremental refresh. Next question is, what is bidirectional filtering? This is also very important. So bidirectional filtering allows the data to filter between two related tables in both directions. So usually data will flow only in one direction, one to many or many to one, okay, or one to one. But many to many is not, that's not what we usually do. And here what happens is, so sometimes we require bidirectional filtering so that it will be needed in some cases, only particular use cases. So if you need bidirectional filtering, how you are going to implement it? That's what they want to ask. So for this also, I'll show you particularly how to do it. You have to just go to modeling. So this is modeling. So if you go to here, you have manage relationships, right? So here just if it will show all the relationships. So here you can see this is many to one. This is also many to one. So all these are many to one relationships. Suppose you want to edit it, then just click on edit and then you will get this option, right? So here, this is where you have to change. Just cross-filter direction should be changed to both and just click on save. That's it. Then automatically it will be changed to both direction. Okay. So what happens is if you do only single, then what happens is data will flow from this table to this table. Okay. So if you apply update it to both, then data will flow from this table to this table and this table to this table. So in both directions, data will flow. That's what is the idea. So how you have to implement it is very simple. You have to go to manage relationship modeling, then manage relationships, then you have to edit it. And here simply cross filter direction should be changed to both. Okay, this is very few cases will be there where you have to use it. Only then you have to implement it. Okay, I'm not saving it because that's not required here. So I'm just closing it, but this is how you have to implement it. Hope you understood. Next one is, this is bidirectional filtering. Next one is, what is summarize function? Summarize is similar to group by in SQL. So what happens is you will group based on a particular column and then you can apply aggregated function on it. So you can apply, you can calculate sum or you can calculate maximum value or minimum value of that particular group. So this is the syntax: summarize, then table name and the columns on which you want to group. And then you can apply aggregate functions, sum of sales of amount. Okay. Next question is, how will you model data from Excel and SQL? So this is also one real-time question. So they are asking how you will model data from Excel and SQL. So this is what they're trying to ask is, if you have multiple data sources, then how you are going to model it. So for this, I'm saying that to model data, we need to first import both data sets into Power BI. Then we have to create the relationships between the tables. So either we have to use a common column or we have to create a bridge table and then create relationships. Finally, we have to define the appropriate data types and then we can create the measures. So what you do is, if you have two particular data sets from different data sources, first of all, load the data. First load the data from Excel or first whatever you want. If you want to load data from SQL, that's fine. So after loading, you will have all the tables in the modeling page, right? Then just go and create the relationships. If there are proper common columns, you can directly create. If there are no common columns, create a bridge table. Then join the two tables using the bridge table. Okay, then you can use the then that will be like a combined data set only. You can create whatever measures you want, you can create and you can go ahead and use it. Okay, this is how you will model if you have two different data sources. Next question is, how to accommodate huge data with 1 million records updated daily. So we have already discussed this one first point. So if you have so huge data and again on daily basis, if you are getting 1 million records and again on daily basis, if 1 million records are getting updated, then it's huge, very huge data set, right? So then what you have to use is, you have to use incremental refresh. Already I have showed you how to implement it so that you can use. Otherwise, you can also leverage direct query also, so that data will be loaded only in the real time, so that it will avoid loading large data sets. So only the latest data, the real-time data, whatever you want, only that much will be fetched. So that's also one thing. Or if you want all the data, then you can use incremental refresh so that it will refresh only the newer updated data. Next question is, can we set up schedule refresh for monthly reports? So this one is, yes, you can set up, because if you want to set up the schedule refresh, you definitely have option to do it in the Power BI service. So we have to just go to the Power BI service and there it can be done by configuring the refresh schedule. Okay, just you have to give the date, whatever, if you want every month starting, then you have to just give the month starting date and apply. So then it will get updated. Okay, so can we set up schedule refresh for monthly reports? Yes, sure, we can do it. So we have to just schedule the refresh for that particular date whenever you want. Next question is, what are the types of refresh available in Power BI? So basically Power BI offers three types of data refresh. So schedule refresh, on-demand refresh, and direct query. Okay, so schedule refresh is already I have told you from Power BI service. You can go to datasets and there you can schedule the refresh. Whatever date you will give, according to that, it will keep on refreshing. You need not do anything, just schedule it. It will automatically get refresh every day. Or whatever dates you set up, according to that it will automatically get refreshed. Then on demand refresh is whenever you want, you go and click on it and then it will get refreshed. Only when you click on it, it will refresh. That is manual refresh. Okay, then direct query is it is just real time data will get imported into Power BI. So these are some of the types. So hope you understood. If you have any other questions or if you want me to show any video or any topic, if you want particularly video, so then you can comment on, I'll create. Thank you guys. So if you like the video, please share and subscribe.